So the first of a three-part, three-header weekend for wrestling, especially on Sunday. I mean, only on Sunday. But we start off with NXT Heatwave. It seems like a pretty decent show. It's not the most stacked Heatwave we've ever had. There's a few things that maybe I would have done differently. But two massive main event matches as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to go through matches as usual, do predictions. It's been a while since we've done predictions, it feels like. Maybe AW Redemption was the last time I did predictions properly. So yeah, we're going to go through match by match. And yeah, this is the first three. I think I'm going to do Heatwave, All In, and then Triple AR, All Out Delacour. And then, yeah, hopefully this weekend all wrestling will go well and there'll be some good reviews coming up early next week. So, but yeah, let's get into NXT Heatwave predictions. So, I think the night will kick off with the title unification match. It's one of the bigger matches on the show. I feel like it's not going to go on last, as you definitely won't. Put it on first, where we have Zarya defending the Women's North American Championship, Ren Sinclair defending the Women's Speed Championship, and Kelly Armstrong, who was added on NXT last night. And yeah, this should be a decent match. It's going to be a good showcase for all three women here. We know how good Zarya can be. Ren Sinclair has been absolutely fantastic over the last few months, in my opinion. And Kelly Armstrong, though she's new to NXT as a whole, we know that she can absolutely go in the ring. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a really good match. But I don't know, maybe it's my personal bias because I prefer this woman, but I'm actually going to back Ren Sinclair to get the win here. I feel like her and Kendall possibly walking out with all the gold is like a pretty cool thing, and maybe people will start taking the Ren QCC more seriously. But no, I feel like that would be a really good image to have by the end of the night, or at least by the night-ish. But no, I think it's really good. Triple threats are known in WWE for just absolutely banging most of the time, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I've got Ren Sinclair to become the Women's North American and Women's Speed Champion. Next, we have the first of the double header for Miles Bourne, where he and Tavion Harris will be defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against Vanity Project. And I don't know, it feels like with WWE bringing up tag teams up to the main roster, it feels like Tavion Harris and Miles Bourne might be part of that. I know that Miles has been predominantly a singles guy for the majority of the time, but yeah, it feels like having them both together makes the most sense. It feels like having them together and win tag team gold is intentional, or else I would have just, had Vanity Project keep the championships in the first place. So I feel like they're going to come up to the main roster as a tag team. Therefore, I have Miles Bourne and Tavion Harris losing the tag team championships to Vanity Project. And it also feels like Vanity Project are a team that WWE and NXT specifically want to invest a lot into, have them be like the revival of past years, to have them be the kind of the tag team of the division like the Undisputed Era once was, like the Creed brothers once were, etc. So yeah, I feel like that's where we're going to go with the Vanity Project. So I think they're going to get the titles back this weekend, and also it makes Miles drop his championship. So with that in mind, with James Drake challenging Miles Bourne for the North American Championship, I think Drake takes this one as well. Vanity Project get all the gold, and then we see Miles Bourne and Tavion Harris go to the main roster together. So yeah, two fairly similar predictions there, pretty much the same thing happening both times, but it makes the most sense. Miles and Tavion were a tag team beforehand. Miles Bourne, for the majority of maybe the last year or so, has been a singles guy, but yeah, I feel like those two are going to go up as a tag team because we need tag teams on the main roster right now. And then, yeah, they'll kind of go from there, which I think will be good for them. Absolutely. They're a fantastic team. I remember they had a match. I can't remember who they were against. It might have been Fraxium, and they absolutely killed it in that match. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing them back as a team. I feel like they are very well first as a tag team. But no, for the North American Championship, unfortunately, because I do prefer Miles over James Drake, I do think Miles is dropping the title here to, I guess, get called up to the main roster. So, yeah, two very quite simple predictions in the grand scheme of things. Following that, we have the match stipulation I have absolutely no interest in, but the match itself I do have a kind of investment in. It's Jada Parker taking on Natty in a submissions match. I hate submission matches because they're boring and tedious. Submissions, that side of technical wrestling, as you guys all know, is not my cup of tea. It's just something I've never resonated with. But hopefully here is that Jada Parker gets a win, and I don't know, I want to say, oh, then she'll get called to the main roster, but it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like Jada will just go up to the main event scene again and then probably lose and come back down again. Like, so what Natty was saying on NXT last night was kind of right. Jada Parker does have everything you possibly need to be a star, and yet for whatever reason they just won't pull the trigger on her, so it's kind of annoying. But she absolutely needs to win this match. I have absolutely no doubts with the fact she absolutely needs to win this match. So hopefully that's the case. Tapping out Natalya is a pretty rare thing nowadays, maybe because Natty doesn't wrestle very often, but it's a good show of like respect and, you know, like passing. I don't want to say passing of the torch because it's not really that kind of moment, but yeah, it's just a good show, good sign of things to come if Jada Parker can tap out Natty, so hopefully that'll be the case. If Natty wins, I feel like it'll be a massive disappointment, but hopefully that's the case, but I do have Jada Parker to get the win here. Then, in one of the two main event matches, we have Kendall Gray defending the NXT Women's Championship against Kalani Jordan, the bitching and moaning Kalani Jordan. Oh man, I hate it when people get the gimmick of, even if it's just a temporary gimmick, of bitching and moaning. And Sami Zayn's like the king of it, and I hate Sami Zayn. So I haven't enjoyed this for the most part just because I'm sick of Kalani moaning. But she finally gets her opportunity. Do I think she's going to beat Kendall Gray? Absolutely not. I think Kendall Gray is going to hold that championship not just for a while, for a very long time. I thought it's going to be one of the longer reigns we see for an NXT Women's Champion. And yeah, Kalani Jordan is that person. Maybe she does go up to the main roster afterwards because she it's pretty much done everything it needs to do in NXT. She feels like she is a big fish in a small pond when it comes to NXT nowadays because she's been there for so long. I would say have her lose here, have her go to the main roster, have her join SmackDown because that women's division is deader than most things, I guess. I don't really know. I didn't really have anything in mind to compare that to. But yeah, send her to SmackDown because they need women over there. I thought they were going to send Lola to SmackDown. Turns out she's going to be on Raw, which is kind of a bit weird. But yeah, so I think it's going to be a very good match. Kalani Jordan is absolutely fantastic in the ring. Also makes sense to give it to SmackDown because that's where Carmelo is for now, if the rumours are believed to be true. But yeah, I've got Kendall Gray to retain the championship here because I said I can't see her losing the title anytime soon. And finally, what I assume you have, well, what anyone has to assume will be the main event, we have a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship. Tony D'Angelo defending against Zilla Fatu, a debuting Zilla Fatu, so he could win the NXT Championship in one night. Grayson Waller, a returning guy who has been absolutely killing it, but I'm curious to see if his in-ring work can match his microphone work, because there's one thing to cut a great promo and get people on board with you, but if you're still pretty lackluster in the ring, which, to be fair, I'm not going to lie to you, Grayson Waller isn't the best in the ring on most days, and we have Cruz Montana getting his, I want to say it's his first opportunity at the NXT Championship, but it might be his second, which I feel like it's going to be a fantastic fatal four-way match. I can't imagine this can go wrong. I will be honest, I haven't seen any of Zilla Fatu in-ring stuff. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched MLW or whatever, or House of Glory or anything like that. So I have no idea what it's going to be like. I assume, based on rumour and everything else, that he is absolutely fantastic. It wouldn't surprise me with his bloodline. But yeah, no, I'm curious to see what he's going to be like. I can't imagine he's going to be bad, and being in the PC is only going to make him better. Cruz Montana, I knew he was fantastic. As Mike Santana, he was great. Tony D'Angelo has really improved in the ring since returning from his big injury, changing from the mob boss to his kind of gimmick now where he's just a guy, which makes the most sense because that's what the main roster pretty much is now. They don't really have gimmicks unless your name's Domhausen. And then, yeah, Grayson Waller is a reliable hand, but again, not great in the ring, so I'm curious to see if he is improved in ring. But this shouldn't be a bad match at all. I assume this will probably be match of the night. That would be probably the best match to put that bet on. But do I expect a new NXT champion? Actually, yeah, I think Zilla Fatu takes it here. I think if you're going to... I've always been a person where it's like, if this person is clearly going to win the championship, then just give it to him. Let's just do it. I know it's... Because the issue is with this whole Fatal 4-Way scenario is the fact that, you know, Cruz Montana had momentum behind him when he first debuted, but then that kind of got taken away when Grayson Waller returned. Then Grayson Waller had a load of momentum, and then Zilla Fatu debuted, and that kind of took momentum away from Grayson Waller. So we're in a kind of situation where all these guys have had momentum, and Zilla Fatu has momentum, but some of it's been taken away due to all the other people in the match. So yeah, so I do feel like we're going to get a new champion here. I think it's going to be Zilla Fatu, and they're going to kind of run with him for a while, but yeah, I kind of would have preferred a few singles matches before we got to the Fatal 4-Way. Maybe done Fatal 4-Way Deadline or something would have been cool, and had Tony D'Angelo beat, face and beat each person one-on-one before we got to the Fatal 4-Way and dropped the championship. But that's my personal way of thinking. But yeah, I said I've got Zilla to take the title here just because if we know they're going to put the title on him, you may as well get started now and then see where it goes from there. So those are my predictions for NXT Heatwave 2026. Do put down in the comments below your thoughts on the show, your thoughts on the matches, and what your predictions are as well. I'm curious to see what other people have got, especially for the Fatal 4-Way match. And yeah, so this is the first of 3 videos coming on the channel over the next 3 days. Today is obviously Heatwave. Tomorrow, I think, will be All In. And then on Friday, it will be AAR Ola de la Cour, if they release actual graphics for the match, because it's something that's really pissing me off is the fact that they just won't release the match graphics. But yeah, so you've got all those coming up, and then next week on it will be Tuesday and Wednesday, because I'll be travelling back from London from actually going to All In on Monday, so it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday for reviews of Heatwave and All In. I won't be doing reviews of Ola de la Cour. I'm just doing predictions as I would for Sideline's main event type thing, where I do predictions but don't do a review afterwards. But yeah, do subscribe, do look out for all of that, as well as some really good content coming up soon. I'll be covering Triple Mania as well as Sideline's main event next week. So yeah, do look out for those, do subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.